Shrek 2: Beg for Mercy. Speedruns of this game are up there with some of the most obscure speedruns to date. With a history spanning 8 years, speedruns of this game have only ever been submitted by 6 people. A small community, but it's often the small communities that can be the most exciting and accessible, especially for a game like this one. The game has few mechanics beyond jumping and attacking, yet requires tight inputs and flawless memorization of each level's layout to have a chance at getting the world record. The current world record is 16 minutes and 29 seconds, set in 2020 by the mighty giant Dad. This record hasn't changed in 3 years. His run was nearly perfect. You'd have to be pretty foolish to waste your time trying to beat it. Shrek 2: Beg for Mercy was released in November 2004 for the Game Boy Advance by publisher Activision. While Beg for Mercy sounds like a BDSM-inspired Shrek fanfic, this is, in fact, a real game licensed by DreamWorks. Interestingly enough, this is actually the first piece of media in which Puss in Boots stars as the main character. I know, right? A full 7 years before he would receive a movie spin-off of his own. Puss in Boots was starring in his own game. Shrek 2 Beg for Mercy walked so Puss in Boots the Last Wish could run. This game has received critical acclaim from fans who have called it good, loved, and hello, I'm an autistic adult gamer. You're probably thinking the same thing I was when I first heard about the game. Why does this game exist? And why is it called Beg for Mercy? Well, it's all part of a movie game tie-in trend that peaked in the early 2000s. Here to talk more about that is fellow content creator Wesley. Now, tell me, why was this game even made?
There were a lot of Shrek games that were released just in general. If I'm recalling right, there were 8 that were released for the Game Boy Advance. When Shrek 2 released, they started pumping out like a ton of games. They also released 8, I think in like 2004 when that released. Which that's a lot of Shrek. That's a lot of Shrek.
Okay, but did the game actually make any money?
It's hard to tell. As far as I know, Vicarious Visions never really published any like revenue made sheets, especially back then. Since they released a ton of Game Boy Advance games, so it's hard to tell. But it released right before the holiday season of 2004, I believe in October. And it was the same year that Shrek 2 released, so it was a perfect like game to buy your child for the holidays. It was a Shrek game, Puss in Boots, and everyone liked Puss in Boots, so like it was just a perfect gift for that holiday season.
So I've always wondered this with like the movie tie-in trend. Why was that so huge in the early 2000s, and why do we never see that nowadays?
I don't think that this movie tie-in trend really ever died out. Like, I mean, they still make movie games, but it's more so in the universe of, or just a spin-off, right? Like, they released the Spider-Man games, they released, like, the Star Wars Battlefront games, and while they're not exactly associated to, like, a specific movie, they're spin-offs in the universe of.
Alright, I gotta go back to playing Shrek 2 Beg for Mercy, so bye.
Puss in Boots is cool. Vicarious Visions is cool. This is cool. I have nothing else to say. Yeah.
This game features 5 sections known as scrolls. 4 contain the main story, and 1 is a collection of bonus stages, unlocked for collecting all the coins in each of the other scrolls. Because we're focusing on the any percent record, meaning we're getting to the end of the game as fast as possible, we will be ignoring the bonus stages. In total, there are 21 separate stages we need to beat, with the final one being a boss battle. That means all the rest are platforming levels. The timer starts when you enter your initials and ends after the boss battle fades to black. The game is a side-scroller, with most levels requiring you to move from the left side of the map to the right. Of the 21 levels in this game, 3 have you playing as Shrek, and 3 have you playing as Donkey. The remaining 15 levels have you playing as the titular Puss in Boots. let's take a look at the movesets of each character. Shrek can jump, ground pound, punch, and pick up items. Donkey can jump, kick both enemies and items, and do a spinning aerial attack. Finally, Puss in Boots can double jump, attack with his sword, attack in midair, do a diving attack, a parry, and a rolling attack. Now, we need to discuss one crucial element of this speedrun: taking damage. See, in this game, when you take damage, you are quickly propelled either forwards or backwards, and gain a few seconds of invincibility. That means there are a number of tricks where you need to collide with an enemy, damage boost forward, and walk through an additional enemy. Here's what that looks like in practice. That's basically it. This is not a difficult game. Rather, the difficulty comes with nailing every trick in one go, which is near impossible for a human to do. The mighty giant dad, also known as Michael Mahoney, only missed a few tricks in his run. So, why did I think I could beat it? Well, I had something he didn't have: a reference guide to beating the game as fast as possible. A tool-assisted speedrun, or TAS for short. In April 2003, TASer, I'm not saying that just to be safe, teamed up with world record holder Michael Mahoney to create an optimal run of this game. That run shows the game being completed in 14 minutes 57 seconds, a full minute and a half faster than the current world record. If I could nail a fraction of the moves done in the TAS, I could set a new world record. So, I started grinding, watching the TAS and comparing it to my moves. After only a week, I had memorized the optimal path for every level. All that was left to do was to do it all in one go. So the grinding commenced, and I died over and over and over. I played every day for hours upon hours upon hours, trying to nail the perfect run. I nearly gave up too. I mean, no one has ever set the 100% record, so technically I could just 100% the game and get the world record. But it's the principle of it. Does it really count as a record if any time you get is the record? No. So I continued to grind any percent. Until one day, a 16:28. 1 second faster than the current world record. As it stands now, this record lies unverified because I don't know if anyone is actually moderating this page. But hopefully, someday, a mod verifies it, and it reaches the top of the leaderboard. Hey guys, Xemptful from the future. That day just happened. They made me a mod on the Shrek 2 Beg for Mercy speedrun page, so I verified my own record. Feel like the Obama meme,
clear.
You know, where he's putting the medal on himself. That's kind of how I feel. But look at it! I'm a world record holder, baby! Okay, back to the video. So, how do I feel getting this world record? Finally reaching the top after all the work I put in. Terrible! This game absolutely sucks! No wonder it has reviews like, "Why did I get this game when I was young? Could have spent the money I had on something else instead of this shit." And wish I could say I spent my childhood playing Zelda or Pokemon or something, but nah, it was this game. Listen, my buddy asked me, why is this game called Beg for Mercy? After all this time, I finally figured it out. That's how you feel playing it. Every second you play this game is a second you could have spent doing something better with your life. I'm the one who's begging for mercy. Remember playing this fucking game again. Fuck you, Shrek 2 Beg for Mercy. I hope every last copy of this game burns. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to Wesley for working with me on this project. He actually made a video going more in depth about video games made as movie tie-ins. Go check it out to hear me rant about the B-movie video game for the PlayStation 2 and how it is actually related to Grand Theft Auto 6. There will be a link in the description below. And of course, thank you to my voluptuous Patreon supporters. If you want a drawing of yourself as a pirate, and to see additional content and behind-the-scenes shots, subscribe now using the link in the description. Goodbye for now. Also, don't even think about trying to beat my record, because then this whole video will be pointless and I'm not deleting it. Ah, fuck.